What's up, guys? Scott with another Doing It Better video. Wanted to bring this one to you guys because I've been getting a lot of questions about it, both personally, etc. I've been having people ask me a lot, how did you lose your weight? In the last 8.5 months, you've lost 40 pounds. How did you do it? What did you do? How much? Etc. So I thought that I'd put together a quick, I don't know how quick, but an 8 tips video for you on what I think are really key factors on losing weight. And it's in my opinion, it's across the board. This isn't specific to any type of person. Of course, everybody should see a physician before starting an extreme exercise program or diet, etc. But here's what I got, and here what I think is important. Number one, and it may be the most important, is figuring out the why. Having the right fuel to start the journey, like Greg Plitt said, having the right fuel to start with that'll allow you to sustain the entire journey. Because it's not a quick fix. It's not a sprint. It truly is a marathon that you have to be able to get all the way through. So make sure that you know why you're doing it. Don't just be like, oh, well, I'm going to go and lose some weight. I need to lose 10 pounds because I want to be hot for the summer this year and have 6-pack abs and blah, blah, blah. It's a commitment. It's a change. It's going to take a long time. It's not going to happen overnight. So you've got to have that why that allows you to get from point A to point B without burning out and saying, I don't care anymore. You've got to have that right fuel. For some people, it is health. Some people have been told by a doctor, you have to do this or something very bad is going to happen to you, including death. Some people, it's for family. They want to be able to play with their kids more. They want to not feel tired after hiking with the family and looking like dad can't keep up with us, mom can't keep up with us, etc. Some people just enjoy challenging themselves, but whatever it is, find the why. Find the why, the real reason, the fuel that will take you through. So there's number one. Find out why you're doing it, stick with it, and don't stray from it. Number 2, consistency. No matter how good your fuel is, or you do the other things that we're going to talk about, no matter how well you do those, if you're not consistent, you fail. Period. Sorry, you fail. If you have 5 days a week where you are perfect, you have nothing but organic foods and all this kind of stuff, and you exercise, if you spend every single Saturday and Sunday doing the exact opposite, or every morning you're good and then the nights you're bad, if you spend that weekend totally obliterating what you've done, you sit on the couch for 2 days straight, you do nothing, you eat 5,000 calories, 6,000 calories worth of food because you go, I behaved for the last 5 days, and so this weekend I'm going to take in more calories than I did across the last 5 days. It doesn't work. You've got to be committed, you've got to be consistent. You have to be or you will fail. It's that marathon versus a sprint thing. Marathons require that you consistently train to be able to handle it. You don't just wake up one day and go, I'm going to go run a marathon. You have to be consistent. You have to make sure that you have the right fuel, that you know exactly what it is that you want, and you have to be consistent with it, or else you're not going to get anywhere. Working out twice a week is not going to make you toned. It is not going to have a significant impact on your weight loss. If you want to lose the weight, you have to be consistent with your diet, with your exercise, with your mental attitude. You have to be consistent. Okay? Consistency breeds success directly, and it doesn't exist without it. All right, number 3, and I have touched on this one in a couple of other videos, but I think that it's really, really important, so I'm going to hit on it again. And it's about using an app to track. If you want to use an online something instead of a phone app or whatever, then that's fine. But having some way to black and white 100% track exactly what it is that you're actually consuming and bringing in. Because the calorie game is the weight loss game. Yes, other things contribute to it, but the scientific data, period, you will not burn stored energy sources without the need, and you have to produce that need by burning more calories than you have available by consumption of food, therefore leading to the use of stored energy sources like fat. Okay? You have to track that accurately, and again, you have to be consistent with it. You can't say, I did really good for 2 days, or I was 1,000 calories lower than I should have been that day, which isn't good either. And so I can splurge these other days. You have to be consistent. That consistency will tell your body what to expect, and it'll get better at processing these things and doing all of the work that is required to actually burn that fat and get it off of your body. So get an app like MyFitnessPal or Lose It and start accurately, honestly tracking the amount of calories that you are taking in versus the amount of calories that you are burning and using, okay? It's not hard. It becomes to the point where sometimes you'll forget to do it, but then you'll go and add up your stuff later on, and you'll be almost exact with what you're supposed to be eating because it becomes a lifestyle, because it becomes a habit. So get an app, get something to track your actual caloric intake, because that's the weight loss game. If you're not burning more calories than you're bringing in, you're not going to lose weight. You might be able to lose a little, you're not going to have significant change. You're not going to be able to lose 50 pounds by eating more calories than you're burning. All right, let's move on to the next thing. Promises. This is a hard one for some people. It's a hard one for me at times. Sorry, just pushing my sticky notes on here so they don't blow away in the wind. But promises. I won't stick on it a lot, but be careful about the promises that you make and stick to the ones that you do make. If you say that I'm going to download the Body Space app, I'm going to find a program, and I'm going to follow that program, which let's say is 5 days a week. If you consistently miss because you didn't feel like going 1-2 workouts a week or something like that, what that's going to do is it's going to tell you subconsciously that the promises that I make to myself don't matter, I can break them, and nothing bad is going to happen. But if you go on the opposite of that and you actually follow your 5 days a week or whatever it is that you're doing, what you're going to do is you're going to breed a sense of power. You're going to know that I have the ability to say I'm going to do something and follow through with it. I don't think I can. I know that I can because I've done it before over and over and over again, and I do it every single day when I go and I work out and follow my program that I promised myself I was going to do. So I'll move on from that one, but be careful about the promises that you make to you, especially to yourself. Be careful about those and follow them if you're going to make them. And if you don't think that you're going to follow them, if you're honest and you don't think that it's going to work and you don't think that you're going to follow through, don't start, because it's going to deteriorate your foundation of trust with yourself. Follow the promises you make to yourself, okay? Number 5, become a student of the game. Lots of people use this phrase, a student of the game, but it's because it's very pertinent and very, very good point. It's a very good point. You must become a student of the game. As you become a student of the game will become more interesting and you'll be able to play it better. In the game of weight loss, start learning about the body, start learning how things work, start learning that there are 3 different macronutrients, the carbohydrates, the fats, and the proteins. Proteins and carbohydrates having 4 calories per gram as opposed to fats having 9 calories per gram. Start learning these things. How does my body use protein to rebuild muscle? What's happening to my muscles when I'm actually working out? What's happening to my heart, my cardiovascular system when I am doing cardio, etc.? Become a student of the game, learn how things work. Again, when you learn more about the game, you'll feel more confident in the game, you'll be able to make more steps in the game, and you will therefore have more success. Become a student of the game, learn how to play. You don't sit down to play Monopoly or anything else without figuring out what the rules are and how to win. So, student of the game, become it. Number 6, don't let the bad days drag you down. You are going to have days where you screw up. You either accidentally ate way less calories than you should have because you're going way hardcore, which isn't good because it's going to put your body into a state where it thinks that it's literally starving to death. and it's going to start storing more fat. You're going to have days where you eat too much. You're going to have days where you just didn't do this or that. You're going to have bad days. If you're human, it's going to happen. If you're not human, then send me a message. That'll be cool. But you can't let those bad days drag you down, because if every time that you have a bad day, you drop an anchor. Literally, every day that you have a bad day and you let it get to you, you drop an anchor and it sits there and drags along with you. And you have to pull that with you every single day. As opposed to saying, oh, crap, I had a bad day, I had 1,000 more calories than I was supposed to have, but I'm going to accept it and I'm going to move on. Now there's a big difference between what I just said and accepting it as being okay. Accepting it and saying this happened, I did eat more than I should have. Excuse me. I did eat more than I should have. And, excuse me, the cough put me off there. I'm going to start over a little bit. If you have the anchor that you're dropping, every time that you have a bad day, you're going to drag it along. The better way to do it is to say that I accept this problem. I did have too much to eat, but I am doing better, and I'm going to continue doing better, and I'm going to move on. Is a lot different than accepting it as okay. Accepting it as okay is saying, oh, I was 1,000 calories over, no big deal, I don't care, I can do it again and I'm still going to have success. It's not okay. That's you going completely against your goals and frankly half-assing it. So know that there's that difference between accepting it, accepting that it happened, moving on, and accepting it as okay. They're different things and it's a dangerous gray line. So forgive yourself for mistakes that you're making, accept them, move on, and know that you're still having success even with that screw up, but don't let it become habitual and don't let yourself turn it into an okay thing to have 1,000 calories more than you should have all the time. Period. You have to accept things as they are, but not accept that they are acceptable. Okay? And if you have questions about my crazy little way of thinking on that, then message me and that's fine. But that's how I feel about it. Accept that it happened, accept that it's something that got out of your control and you screwed up, but you're going to continue on with this effort instead of saying, I screwed up, who cares, no big deal, it doesn't matter, and this is fine and I can keep doing it again. So I'm going to move on from that one and move on to number 7. Number 7, have fun with it. If your goal is to lose this weight and you've decided that the best way to do it is cardio and nothing but cardio, but you freaking hate cardio, you're not going to be successful. You're going to hate your life every time that you go to the gym. You're going to complain about it before you go. You're going to complain about it afterwards. You're going to sit there and dread it beforehand, dread it afterwards, knowing you have to do it again the next day. Have fun with your workouts. Don't hang out. Don't go and work out with people that you hate, because that's going to put a negative light on it. Don't say that you're going to do a program with somebody that you don't really want to do just because it's your friend. Make sure that you're having fun with it. If you start to get bored, shake it up. I've talked about this in a past video, but if you start to get bored, shake it up. Go and buy a new pair of running shoes. I bet you you'll want to go run afterwards. Go and buy a new pair of lifting gloves. I bet you'll want to go and lift afterwards. This isn't an option for a lot of people, but some places have more than one gym for you to choose from in an approximate area, so maybe that gym's not for you anymore. Whatever that means, have fun with it. Stop going to the gym and start hiking every day instead. Make sure that you're having fun with this process, because if the weight loss game is a lifestyle change. It's not a quick fix. It's not I'll lose 40 pounds, 50 pounds, 60 pounds, 10 pounds, and then I'm going to go back to what I was doing before, and that 10 pounds isn't going to come back. That's not the truth. Losing weight and keeping the weight off is a lifestyle change. You have to treat it that way. And if you're not enjoying it, if you're not having fun with your newfound lifestyle, you're not going to maintain it, which means that you're going to fail. Your confidence and your foundation of your trust in yourself is going to erode, and you're going to be like, screw it, I'm done, I quit, over. So don't do that. Make sure that you're having fun with what you're doing. When I get into the gym, I'm excited. I'm excited on the way there. I look at what I'm going to be doing the next day on Body Space on my app and going, okay, tomorrow's about shoulders, or I'm going to freaking rock abs tomorrow. Whatever it is, have fun with it. Enjoy it. Make this something that you're going to be able to maintain throughout the rest of your life so that you can hold on to this success and this weight loss and this hard thing that is so hard to gain. Make sure that you're doing the things and having fun with it so that you can maintain it. Because if you go through all this struggle to get from a point of, to be blunt, to be fat and unhappy, to fit and loving life, and then have to go back, then you're really going to be a miserable little turd. You're going to hate yourself, you're going to hate life and everything else. So make sure that you're having fun with it so that when you get from here to here, you can stay here instead of having to come back and go through all that struggle again. So, have fun with it. And the very last thing, which I think is very key, is celebrate your success. Whatever that means. Now, there's a fine line between celebrating your success and looking for excuses to splurge and do other things like that. And know that celebrating your success in the weight loss game doesn't have to mean that I'm going to go and eat something that I don't think that I should eat or that I wouldn't normally eat on my diet. Celebrating your success means looking at what you've done, looking at the work that you've gone through to accomplish what it is that you've accomplished, and giving yourself that pat on the back. Instead of just hiding it, instead of just saying, oh, it's not that big of a deal, it's not that big of a deal, no one's going to care, blah, blah. Celebrate your successes. When you step on that scale, I only weigh myself every 2 weeks because I think that the weighing yourself every day thing is very destructive. But if you weigh yourself and you're like, man, I lost that 10 pounds, heck yes. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go and buy that new pair of Nikes that I wasn't going to buy before. I am going to get that $10 subscription to gregplitt.com that I wasn't going to get. I'm going to celebrate my success in a way that is going to fuel my success, not diminish it. Of course, I'm not saying that you can't have something nice to eat or something you wouldn't normally eat as a celebratory action, but don't make it the only thing that you can do to celebrate your success, okay? So quick recap, because this video is already 17 and a half minutes long. Number one, the right fuel. Make sure that you know why you are starting and why you are going to keep going, because that, can't remember who the philosopher was, but some philosopher once said that if you, with the right why, you can endure any how. So keep that in mind. The right fuel to sustain the entire journey, as Greg Plitt said. Number two, consistency. Be consistent with your actions or they won't take impact. They won't take impact if you're not consistent. I'll say it again. In the name of consistency, be consistent. It will not have impact if you don't. Number three, the app. Or some type of other way. I don't care if it's just a piece of paper in a journal because you don't want the government getting your info or blah, blah, blah. Write down what you're eating. Actually start tracking it, okay? Because that's key. Track. Number four, promises. Be careful with the promises that you make to yourself, especially, and follow through with them. If you don't know / think that you're going to follow through with this promise, don't make it. Don't make it. Don't erode your self-trust. Don't. Just don't make it. Say, sorry, I can't do that, or that's not going to happen, or whatever. Number five, become a student of the game. Start to learn things. Look up the macronutrients. See how they affect your body. See how many of them you actually need. Look at the fact of, man, is 95% of what I eat every day, even though I'm staying with my calories, all carbohydrates? Because that's probably not a good thing if it is, okay? So again, become a student of the game. Become a student of the game, learn how to play the game better, be more successful, and win. Number six, don't let the bad days drag you down. Don't drop that anchor every time that you have a bad day and drag it along with you. Take that anchor and say, you know what, this is a problem, forget it, just drop it. Leave it there, don't drag it along with you and say, I accept that this happened, but that doesn't mean that I need to carry this problem with me around every day. Leave it where it lies. Accept it, leave it where it lies. Oh, sorry guys, had a little bit of a battery indicator there, so I'm gonna try and wrap up here so I don't lose this 20-minute video. Number 7, have fun with it, enjoy it. Weight loss is a lifestyle change if it's gonna be consistent, and you're not gonna go from fit and happy to fat and sad, okay? Make sure that you are having fun. Enjoy the hell out of it. Find some way to enjoy the hell out of it so you can stick with it. And number 8, celebrate your successes. Make sure that you are giving yourself that pat on the back, that celebratory slice of pizza, that new pair of hiking boots, that trip to Moab, whatever. All right, guys, this is Scott with Doing It Better. If you have any questions, let me know. Feel free to find us on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, of course here on YouTube. Share with your friends, subscribe, etc., especially if you know that they're going through a struggle like this and they're trying to lose that weight, because a simple word from a friend can have more impact than you think. So, have a good day. Go and do something great. This has been Scott with Doing It Better. Take care, guys.